Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to take a single layer transparent image into Cricut Design Space and create a multi-layered image that you can cut out of vinyl, out of cardstock, make it multiple colored layers. So I know a lot of people go and do a Google search online, find themselves an image and upload it into Design Space and think, what in the world am I going to do with this? There's nothing here. It's not cutting right. I don't know how to get it how I want my end product to be. So I thought I'd make this video. Hopefully it'll help clear things up for you. So if you're new here, hello, my name's Tamara. I am the designer here with Dots and Cuts, and on this channel I talk about all things Cricut, Cricut Design Space, how to make your own SVG files from scratch, and also I have a silhouette machine as well, so I like to do a few videos on that as well. I'm not as versed in silhouette as I am with Cricut, so majority of my videos are Cricut. But if that's something that you're interested in learning about, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button below and leave me a comment on this video if there's anything missing or any questions you have or anything else that you'd like to see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's tutorial. So I'm going to pull up Cricut Design Space, and I'm on a Mac, so most of my commands and things that I use and the interface here might look a little different if you're using a Windows PC. So anything that's different, I'll call out that and let you know what it would be on Windows. So what we're going to do first is we're going to upload our image into Design Space. So I'm going to hit Upload Image, and I'm going to browse. I have a neat little, or a cute little strawberry that we're going to play with today. So this is just a plain JPEG black and white image. And after I upload it in here, I've got these three options: simple, moderately complex, or complex. This is a very simple image. It's just black and white. So we're just going to hit simple and hit continue. And on this screen, we want to take out all of the white parts. We don't want that because what that's going to do is basically when you go to cut it, it's just going to cut a big square. It's not going to cut any of the details because this is a JPEG file and not an SVG file. So I happen to have the fancy background remover on my Design Space. And with that, I can just click remove background and it's going to take out everything, all of the white spaces that I don't need. Now, let me hit revert here because not everybody has the background remover yet. So if you do not, you will see these options here, and you would select your magic wand, and then you would just come over and you would just click on all of the white spaces, and that means the inner white spaces as well. So we're going to click all of these little dots right here, because we don't want any white. We want basically everything to be transparent except for the black parts. Now, because this was downloaded, there are some words right here where I downloaded this image from, and we don't want that. So you can come over here and select your erase tool, and it's going to bring a little circle up, and then you can just click and drag over that and it'll just take that out because we're not going to want that. And if you needed to make the eraser size bigger or smaller, you can do that here. But this is how I want my image right now. So I'm going to hit apply and continue. And it gives me two options. I can save this as a cut image or I can save this as a print then cut image. I'm going to save this as a cut image because I want to ultimately cut this layered strawberry in vinyl. So I'm going to hit cut image and hit upload. And it's going to show up here in my uploads. So now what I'm going to do is click on that and hit add to canvas. And it's going to bring my little strawberry over here into my workspace. I'm going to just size this down a little bit because we're going to need to make some copies. So this process, you can see right now, if you follow my cursor, over here on the right-hand side, we have one layer. That's it. If I were to send this right now, if I were to click Make It and send this to my maker right now, or send this to my Cricut, this is how it would cut. It would just be all outlines. There would be nothing else to it. It would just cut all of these black lines. That is not what I want for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this layers panel over here have multiple layers and have colors. So to do that, we're going to use the contour button, which is down here in the lower right corner. Before we do that though, we need to determine how many colors we're going to have on our image. So I know that my stem is going to be at one color. I know that my leaves and these little strawberry, I don't know, seeds, dots, whatever they're called, are going to be the same color. Those are going to be a green. I know my strawberry is going to be red. And then you also have to account for the blacks and the whites as well. So all in all, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. I'm gonna say 6 just to be safe. I think I might have forgotten one. So once you know how many colors you have, you're gonna select your image and you're gonna come over here to your layers panel and you're gonna click duplicate and make as many copies of this as colors that you need. So if I need 6 colors, I'm gonna make 6 copies. So let me go ahead and hit this 5 more times. Okay, once I've done that, I'm going to just pull one away because I don't need these right here yet. We're just going to work with one layer at a time. So I'm going to scoot these over here out of the way. We're going to bring this little guy over here. And now we're going to start making our layers. So to do that, you're going to select the image. You're going to come down here to the bottom right corner and hit contour. Once you do that, you're going to get this box. This is the box where you're selecting what's going to be in our layer, basically. Now, for this one, we want to hit a hide all contours because the very first layer that you make on these types of images needs to be a solid black background. And that would be, for example, when you're cutting this on vinyl, it would make one solid piece that goes on the bottom, and that would be your first layer of vinyl, and then you would layer your colors on top of that. So once you've clicked hide all contours, you just click out of this box and you're going to see your image turn to all black, and it'll just be an outline, and that's perfect. That's what we want. So that is our very first layer, and you can see over here in the panel, in the layers panel, that it is now showing as the solid background. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull another little strawberry over here, and I like to pull mine down below because when that contour box pops up, it's going to block a lot of things, and I just like to see what I'm working with. So I pull this down here, and then I hit select it. So I select my image again, hit contour again. Now we're going to click hide all contours one more time, but then we're going to go in and start selecting our colors. So we do hide all contours. I'm going to go ahead and start with the stem of the strawberry. Now I want to go ahead and make this its own layer. So I'm going to click that. You can see it's highlighted and I've clicked it. And then what I need to do after I've clicked that is go back over here into this panel and click off of your background. So this very top square here, that's your all black background. We don't want to see that on these extra layers. So I've turned that off. And when I've done that, I'll click out of this and I'll be left with just the stem. Now, oh my goodness, why is my Design Spaces moving my stuff around on me? Okay, so this is my stem, and I'm going to go ahead and change the color. I want this to be brown. I don't know, strawberry stem is brown. I've never paid attention. Mine is going to be brown. All right, so that is our first layer, and you can see over here in the side panel, we've now got our stem. So now I'm going to grab another strawberry, and I apologize, I don't know why my canvas is moving around like this. I'm not doing anything on my mouse, it's just moving. So I've got my I've got my strawberry. We're going to do our next layer. And so I've selected my strawberry. I'm going to hit contour. I'm going to hit hide all contours. And then I'm going to select the pieces that I'm going to make green in color, which are going to be the leaves at the top and these little dots on the bottom. And once I've selected those, I'm going to click off of my background up here. Always remember to do that. Let me show you what happens if you don't do that. So I've selected my green colors and I have not deselected my background. So when I go back to my canvas, it's going to be all black. It's going to look just like this. You don't want that. That's not. Oh, sorry about that. That's not what we want. So let me go back. Hide all contours. Select my green. Turn my background off. And there we go. Now these are my green pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and change the color on these to green. Alrighty. Now let's do the red. So we're going to do the main body of the strawberry now. So I've pulled another one of my copies over here. I've got it highlighted and I'm going to hit contour, hide all contours. I'm going to just select the part that I want red, which is this whole big middle piece here. And then I am going to turn my background off. And here's my red piece. Let me change the color on here to red. Whoop. All right. And then we have two more colors that we need to do. We have our blacks and we have our whites. So I'm going to drag another little strawberry guy over here. Hide all contours, and we're going to do the black. So for this one, and this is why I like to keep my little image down here in the bottom, I know that the outer part of the eyes are black, and I know that there is a black ring around each of my little strawberry seeds. So I'm going to select those items. So I've got my eyes. Oh, and my mouth. And then the black circles around my seeds. All right, we'll turn off our background, hit out, and here we go. Here's our little face in the background that goes behind our seeds, and we're going to leave those black. And then our very, very last layer is going to be our white, which is really only thing that's white on this design is the inner eyes. So we're going to hit contour, hide all contours, and then I'm just going to select the eyes, or the inner eyes, sorry. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn off my background, so let me redo this. There we go. And I'm going to make these white up here in the colors panel. Okay, so now we're going to put together our strawberry. We're going to layer this guy. So to do that, you got your base here. This is your background. And we're going to pull our red color over. Now, do you see how this is behind here? We want to bring that to the front. So to do that, you can either right-click, send to front, and you'll see over here in your panel that it'll bring that, that particular piece all the way to the top, and then it'll be on top. And for a Mac, you can also use a keyboard shortcut, which is Command Shift open bracket. That will actually move it to the back. Close bracket will move it to the top. So we are going to just put this little red on top of the black, line it up. All right. Now we got our green, and again, it's in the back, so I'm going to use my my keyboard shortcut for this. Again, a Mac is Command Shift close bracket. On a Windows, it would be Control Alt close bracket, I believe. And we're going to bring these over here. Same thing with the stem. And I believe you can also, there's another way you can do this. I think you can just drag this up. Maybe. Yeah. You can just drag this up in the side panel too if you didn't want to use the shortcut or the right click. So here's our brown stem. Next we're going to do the black. I'm going to just pull this up here. I like that. So here's our fate. And you know what? Do you see this? This black needs to be behind these greens. So I'm going to, I'm just going to do move backward because I need to just hit move backward until, there we go, until the greens are on top. Because if I do send it back, it's going to send it all the way behind everything, and I don't want to do that. So, let me line this up here. Okay, get out of my way. There we go. Sheesh. Okay. And the last piece is the eyes. I'm going to right click and do send to front on this one and bring this over. Now, let me just tell you, for some reason, I think that the white parts of the eyes on this are hideously large. I don't like the way it looks. So, I'm gonna split these two items. I'm gonna split these. I'm gonna resize them and make them smaller. Now, if I could resize them here, but if I do that and make them smaller, they're not gonna fit where they need to go. So I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna need to do is highlight these, hit contour, hide all contours, select two of them. I forgot to take my background out, hide all contours, select my white, just one of them, just one of the whites, take my background out. There we go. Now I'm going to duplicate this so that I can separate them. And now I can resize them. Now you'll want to highlight them and resize them both together so you make sure they're both the same size. But I'm going to make them about this big. And then you can just drag them over and put them in the eyeballs where you want them to be. I think this looks a lot better when they're smaller. That thing looked hideous before, in my opinion. All right. And there you go. Now you have a multi-layered image. And if you wanted to, just to make sure that your eyes cut out where they're supposed to, highlight both of them or select both of them. And you can either weld them together or you can attach them together. Either one is going to do the same thing. I always just do weld, and it brings the eyes together up here in their own layer. So we are done. We are done layering this. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like when you go to try to cut this. So let's say we want to cut this out on vinyl. If that's the case, you don't need to do anything because when you hit make it, Design Space is automatically going to sort your colors out onto different mats for you. So you see your whites are on here, your second mat would be your blacks, your third mat you run through the machine would be your reds, the fourth one would be your brown, and the fifth one would be your green. So it's easy peasy. Start cutting, cut everything out, layer all your pieces together, and you have your vinyl decal. Now let's say that you wanted to make this a print then cut image. So if you wanted to do that, you would just select all of your pieces and hit flatten. And you'll see over here in the layers panel that it's going to drop it down to one layer and it's going to say print then cut. So now when you hit make it, your mat is going to come up with the registration marks. It's going to have you print the strawberry out, and then you would put the paper on your mat or the sticker paper, whatever you're using, and and then Design Space would then, and then run it through your machine, and then it would cut out the outline of the square for you. So that is how you take a single image and make it into a multi-layered file. And I don't think there's anything else that I'm forgetting on here. If any of you guys have a question, or I went too fast on something, leave me a comment and I will try to respond to you and explain as best I can, what I did, or try to answer your question. And don't forget to like this video if this helped, and I will see you guys next time.